Hello, my dear ones. It's very early here. I usually record either in the evening or later in the day, but today I thought I would take you to the coast. I kept thinking what I should be recording for us because Lent is approaching. We are, 2 weeks away from Lent, from the Orthodox Lent. And I wanted to share something with you that would help you the way it's helping me as we find our way through Lent. And one of these things has to be what I want to share with you today. So let's just leave behind our church, Kilninian, and find our way to the coast. God bless you all. I'll see you soon. There is a reason I'm taking you to the coast today. I'm not just going there because I love being there, although I do love being there. But there is a reason. I'm looking for something. A bit of mud. Not that. I'm looking for something that might help me by the grace of God during Lent. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, because really what I would like you to take away from this video is the idea that sometimes in life, and particularly so in moments like for Pasca, preparing for Lent, doing something that's spiritually particularly important, particularly relevant, it helps to have a secret between your heart and Christ. It helps to step away from what is our usual dependency on the approval of everyone else and actually do something that is only known to you, to your heart, and Christ. Of course, your spiritual father has to bless it, because otherwise you end up just serving your own pride. But ultimately, this should be a secret between you and your Creator. See how beautiful Kilninian is perched up there in the hills? Sorry, the sun is just blinding me. I'm going to let it blind you too for a second. There you are. God bless you. I'll see you a bit later when I'm at the coast. The idea behind all of this is that initially, when we are created, God creates us with the correct salvific instincts and thoughts and emotions and everything about us, everything that makes up who we are and our being is naturally oriented towards God. It's like the instincts of our being are all healthy and directed towards God. There is nothing bad in us, and everything in us, because it's created by God, is either good or at least has the potential to be good. In time, that changes. Our behavior, our habits, the choices we make in our lives, sometimes in knowledge, other times in ignorance, these choices end up shaping us as well. And it's as if the experience of this world reshapes who we are, reshapes our instincts and our thoughts and our emotions. And all of a sudden, before we even learn who we are, we find ourselves torn between a version of ourselves which is defined and shaped by our Creator, and a vision of ourselves which is defined and shaped by our sin, by ourselves in the bad choices we make, and by the evil spirits that have pushed us and encouraged us in making those bad choices. Okay, this actually looks like a good place. Sorry, I just went to get my bag, because otherwise I forget where everything is, and then I end up running the whole day trying to find everything. I'm here for a reason. I'm here because I want to create a little secret between me and my God. And this is what I want to encourage all of you to do during Lent, at least during Lent, because Lent is a limited time. It's a period of time we feel we can manage. Create something between you and God. Create a little secret known to you, your heart and God. And obviously, as I said, blessed by your spiritual father. And then allow that secret to inform who you are and to shape you the way. Do you remember when we were children, for instance, and we shared secrets with our best friends, and that created a sense of communion between us that we didn't share with anyone else? Or later on, when you trusted your favorite, I don't know, godparent, or your favorite parent or brother, or later in life, the person whom you loved, you share secrets with them. You allow your heart to be completely open, and this sacred space between two open hearts, like two open doors that no one else can see and no one else can partake of, this creates the one being that friendship and love, and to its highest degree, the relationship with our Creator can become. Choose a secret, and then get the blessing of your spiritual father, and then keep on practicing that thing through Lent. And it can be all sorts of things. It can be something as, an example I've already shared with you from previous Lents for me is to sleep outside in a tent for 2 or 3 nights a week during Lent. But there are many other things that you could do. You could, if you wanted to, you could choose to sleep on the floor, for instance, on Wednesdays and on Fridays, in order to keep before the eyes of your mind the betrayal of Judas, which took place on a Wednesday, and the crucifixion of the Lord, which took place on a Friday. You could choose to fast completely with no food, no water, if your health allows you, on either Friday for the crucifixion of the Lord, or the Saturday, for example. The Saturday is another wonderful day, which is the day when Christ in his mercy descended into hell to bring the good news of salvation to all those who were ready to receive it, even there in the depths of hell. And we, each and every one of us, know what hell is, because each and every one of us have experienced at some point in our lives the hell of despair and of sin. There are so many things you can do, all these things that deal with your body, but then there are also things you can do that involve your mind, for instance. You could choose to follow the example of the Fools for Christ, and on several occasions, well chosen, well planned beforehand, you could just make a fool out of yourself, willingly, purposely, in front of the very people whom you judge. If, for instance, you feel superior towards someone, and you've got this sense of pride in your heart, when you compare yourself in your own mind with that person, you could choose to purposely say something absolutely stupid or just fake, false, in front of them, allow them to contradict you, and then just leave with the shame of having made a mistake in front of that person. Of course, all of that will generate an outburst of pride because you've done that thing, but already you've pushed the battle a bit deeper. You're no longer at the same level you've been at for months or maybe years. The pride you're fighting now is a different kind of pride. You could, if you are someone obsessed with control, and I know a lot of parents have this problem, and it's understandable, because if you don't take care of your family is going to go mad. You have somebody who has to keep order in a family the same way somebody has to keep order in a monastery. But you could, for Lent, again, if you think about it in a safe, wise way, you could choose to let go of your control in ways that you wouldn't normally, naturally do. And these things shouldn't be things you announce to everyone. These things should be the secrets of your heart between you and God, so that these secrets, the things you do in secret, can shape you, or better said, can reshape you into who God created you to be. I was hoping, that's why I was down there a bit earlier, getting my bag and checking to see if there are any of those little streams on the beach. You know, when the waves go back into the ocean at low tide, they leave behind these claw-like threads in the sand, like little rivulets. And a day or two ago, I was walking on the beach, and I thought, my God, this is what is happening with us. When God creates us, all our thoughts, all our emotions, they come with their own natural streams, their own riverbeds that are naturally theirs, and that would direct every one of our thoughts and every one of our emotions in a positive, salvific direction. Because everything in us naturally craves, longs to be reunited with God. All our thoughts are naturally finding their full potential, their fulfillment in God. Or our emotions, everything that we are. When God created us, He also created in us a natural riverbed, if you want, for these flows of thoughts and emotions. But then during the years, through mistakes that we make and habitual sin, and under the influence of the evil spirits around us, we end up digging deep in our consciousness, and we just carve new riverbeds. We carve new courses for our thoughts and for our emotions, so that fear, for instance, fear which should be fear of losing the love of God, fear of losing something so beautiful and life-giving as our own Creator, the one who brought us into being out of non-being, the fear that should keep us away from sin and close to God, the way a baby deer is close to his mama. That fear, instead of following that riverbed, that stream, the natural stream that God created for it into our being, ends up following a different direction, a different flow, which has been imprinted in us, carved in us by our sin. And instead of fear keeping us away from evil and close to God, it ends up doing precisely the opposite. It keeps us away from God and pushes us through despair and despondency into the hands of sin. And you can do that with almost every single thought and emotion that we have. Everything in us came with a good, blessed way of being used so that it brings us closer to the kingdom. And then we ended up just carving onto our minds and our hearts new ways of misusing these tools that God has given us. And instead of them being tools for salvation, they become tools for, well, our, I don't want to say perdition, because in my heart, I hope with everything that I am that God will find a way for everything and everyone. But the risk is there, because God tells us of eternal punishment, and he does tell us of a hell and the torments of hell. So I was hoping to find some of those claws that the waves leave in the sand, but it's still high tide this morning, so there aren't any. That's another thing about the tide that I thought about yesterday or the day before yesterday. How everything that we do is just like a sign that the water leaves in the sand. And when you look at it at low tide, it feels as if it's been there forever. And as if nothing can change that. And then just a few hours later, it's all gone. And the ocean has erased everything. All that we are, everything that we are here on this earth, because it's made of the same earth, is like those signs of the waves left in the sand. And that's not something that should discourage us. That's not something that should throw us into despondency. Quite the contrary, at least for me, it works quite the opposite. It gives me a mad courage to try everything, because nothing lasts forever. At least I know I've tried. At least I know I've taken risks and I've taken chances and I've tried everything that I could think of and that I could bring myself to do during this short lifespan here on earth. At the end of the day, when high tide comes again, all of that will be erased, and everything that will be left is that sense of intimacy, sense of oneness, sense of belonging to my Creator. Choose a secret between your heart and God, a secret that is aimed to fight one particular passion that has been tormenting you for months or for years. And then get the blessing of your spiritual father, and for the length of Lent, allow that secret to slowly correct those riverbeds of your thoughts and of your emotions, so that we erase the false ones created onto us by our sinfulness, and we rediscover the beauty of following the natural ones, of flowing according to the direction of those riverbeds carved onto our being by God Himself, who created us out of love and for love. Lent is coming, my dear ones, and it comes with this amazing hope and potential for every one of us. It doesn't matter how badly you've fallen. It doesn't matter how badly you feel about yourself, how low you feel you've fallen. Lent comes every year with this endless potential and perfectly wonderful hope that we can do everything. Because at the end of it all, the most blessed high tide will come over and erase everything and embrace us in God's love. Pasca, my dear one, the joy of Pasca is approaching. Be blessed, my brother. Be blessed, my sister. Amen. Amen. Amen.